Despite losing the first quarter by 15 points and finding themselves down by 21 points in the second quarter, the New York Knicks find a way to claw themselves back into a win against the Sacramento Kings. And you can't do it without Hart. And Josh Hart gets the game ball for his performance against Sacramento. We'll talk about the game in a second. We're also going to break down a major injury update around OG Anunoby, and this is a good injury update. Julius Randle was ruled out for the remainder of the season earlier this week, but we got some good news around OG Anunoby, and it comes at a great time as the New York Knicks get back in the win column after losing 3 games in a row and find a way to beat the Kings 120-109. Josh Hart. Give me some threes in the chat for Josh Hart. You can't do it without Hart, and that's why the Knicks won this game. Josh Hart and just pure heart. Desperation. Fight. Resilience. Never say die. And I'm not going to say the season was on the line tonight, but it sure did feel like that at one point. And you know what Josh Hart did? He played his best game as a member of the Knicks. And I don't really think it's all that close. I mean, he was electric. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists for Josh Hart. Has there been a game this season where Josh Hart made 14 shots? He was 14 of 19. And he was the engine, the fuel for this offense. The game plan for the Sacramento Kings was to double team Jalen Brunson every time he crossed half court, every time he got involved in a pick and roll. They were blitzing him, and they were blitzing all night. What are they saying? Remember the Titans? We blitz, and we blitz all night. That's exactly what the Kings did to Jalen Brunson. And we saw Tom Thibodeau adjust. Score 20 points in the first quarter. You score 100 points in the next 3 quarters. And what was it? Brunson gets doubled. Hart flashes to the middle, makes himself available for a pass, and then he just beelines to the rim. He just gets downhill. He puts pressure on the front of the cup. And he's got a shooter here, and he's got a shooter here, and he's got Isaiah Hartenstein running block to block. It was 4-on-3 all night long with Josh Hart making decisions. And it worked out in a positive way. And when he made the pass to Hartenstein, Hartenstein either finished or he found somebody else. 9 assists for him. They looked like the Golden State Warriors on offense when teams would try to double team Steph. Steph gets doubled. He throws it in between the double. Hart catches. He faces the rim. He's got a shooter, and he's got a big running block to block. And they didn't stop him. And he didn't stop. And he just kept touching backboard. Kept getting out and running. Kept getting rebounds. Pushing the pace. Josh Hart, my man. Special game. Game ball, it goes to Josh Hart. Almost a 30-point triple-double. And Jalen Brunson. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about, Jalen Brunson. 35 points, 11 assists, 12 of 20 from the deck, 2 of 5 from downtown. That is what I'm talking about, Jalen Brunson. You looked like the player that every New York Knicks fan fell in love with over the past 2 years. You looked like the guy that was the best player in the Eastern Conference. You looked like one of the best point guards in the league. You went toe-to-toe with De'Aaron Fox, and you outplayed him. And that was with the Sacramento Kings' entire defensive focus on you. That's what we need. With Randle gone, if the Knicks want to do things they haven't done since 2000, since 1972, they need the lefty with the braids, number 11, to play like an MVP, and he did that tonight because that's what he's about. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. Have I been critical of his play lately? Yeah, but you know why? Because this is the standard I'm holding him to, because I believe he's a 1A. And if I believe someone's a 1A, I'm going to hold him to a 1A standard. And he did everything and more that anybody could ask for out of him tonight. Donte DiVincenzo, Villanova, stand up. Jay Wright, Tip your cap, my brother. 21 points from Donte, 31 from Hart, 35 from Brunson. When your team needed it the most, the winners came and got it done for you. Brunson, Hart, Donte, 87 points, 61.5% from the field. The Knicks trailed by 21 in the first half, but they held Sacramento to 8 of 25 in the fourth. That's defense. That's intensity. That's attention to detail. That's knowing the moment. That's going out and capturing a win that you were not supposed to. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of this team. I get so emotional when they lose because I know that they are this good, and I know they can be special. Bojan Bogdanovic, welcome to the team. Welcome to the season. With Randle out, they need this man to do his job, and he did that tonight. He did that against the Heat, and if he can continue to give you 12 to 15 points and shoot good from the field, that's going to help. 12 points in 12 minutes. Knicks need Bogey to be great. Knicks need Bogey to be great. So proud of this team. If you still believe in the Knicks with no Randle, give me an LGK in the chat. Give me an LGK in the chat. Team played their ass off. Be one of the best teams in the Western Conference in a game that they absolutely needed. I'm so proud of this team. Proud of Jalen Brunson, proud of Josh Hart, proud of Donte DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein, Bogey, Deuce missed some shots, but his defense was great in the second half. Very, very proud of this team, and it feels good to get back in the win column. Freaking love this basketball team. We've got updates on OG Anunoby around the corner, but first, I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply choose more or less on their projected stat line. Now's the time to play, as the NBA playoffs are about 2 weeks away, and the Final Four for the men's and women's is right around the corner. They always have new deals for new and returning users, so check them out. Win big money. Withdraw your winnings. Pick more. Pick less. Play Prize Picks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. If you use the promo code CLNS, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. I saw someone in the chat say I'm too hard on Jalen Brunson. I don't believe I am, because after the game against, who did they just lose to before this? After the Heat, Jalen Brunson said he let the team down. So if he's going to hold him to that standard, I'm going to hold him to that standard. And you know what? He's earned the right to be held to that standard, because he is such a damn good basketball player. We off that, though. Tom Thibodeau said this about OG Anunoby from Ian Begley. OG Anunoby has been playing 5-on-5 with contact, and notes that he's been able to continue conditioning during his rehab period. Tibbs also said the Knicks are cautiously optimistic about OG Anunoby's progress. He has been cleared for contact, and Tibbs said he's doing well in rehab from his elbow ailment. I said it before the game. I said it before we knew Randle was out for the year. If you can get back a healthy OG Anunoby, you are going to be a tough matchup for anybody in the Eastern Conference. There is a reason that you are 15-2 when Anunoby plays. There is a reason you are the #1 defense in the league when Anunoby plays. It's a big if. It's a big wait and see. But getting OG Anunoby right for the playoffs needs to be the biggest priority for this team. If that means he doesn't play in the regular season, fine. Your last game is on the 14th. You don't play again until potentially April 20th. Give him that extra week off. We saw him dominate teams with one arm on defense. If you can get 90% of OG's production on defense and even 60% of his production on offense, that's still one of the best players in the Eastern Conference. Give me those OGs in the chat. Hit that thumbs up icon, and let's hope they can get back healthy. So proud of this dude, man. I'm so proud of him. He's got to do a lot. And there's a lot of food on his plate. There is. Maybe my expectations are too high for him. But he's earned that because of his play. I think if you consistently watch this show, you know that I love Jalen Brunson. You know that in the summer of 2022, I told you guys he was underpaid. If you watch this show, I told you guys that he was one of the best signings in Knicks history. I just expect the world of him because he's an all-world player, and he's earned that right. And I'm going to continue to hold him that standard. I don't think he wants me to lower that standard. I think he would agree he needs to make his clutch free throws. I think he would agree he needs to be better in the clutch. And he was tonight. The Kings tried to open that door on a comeback tonight, and Brunson slammed it right in their face. And that's what leaders do. That's what captains do. That's what superstars do. Backs against the wall, down 15 in the first quarter. And you know what Jalen Brunson said? We're not done. We're not quitting. We're not going out sad like this. He put his boots on, and he went to work. And he went to work. I believe he's the best point guard in the East. I've never wavered off that. I've just expected a little bit more of him as times because of the things he did like tonight. Seeps, he had 35 points and was double-teamed on probably 65% of possessions. Hats off to JB. Hats off to JB. That's the player that the New York Knicks faithful fell in love with. Keep on doing it because we're going to need you all playoff long. Subscribe to the channel, hit that sub button, and hit me up on Twitter. And let's go Knicks! Back in the win column. And damn, does it feel good.